From Alpha Pokemon to Mythicals, this video is a bit of a compilation and recap of some of our favourite encounters that we have had so far.
It's hard to believe that we have been shiny hunting for over 10 years. Since X and Y, we have been working together to catch them all. Our goal is to obtain every shiny Pokemon in 2 separate shiny living dexes for the both of us, and I would say we are about halfway there.
Stick around to see my reaction to one of the biggest shiny hunts I have ever tackled.
Oh my god!
Starting in the Kanto region, this is the first and only generation of Pokemon that we actually have a complete living dex for.
This Charizard is probably the coolest thing I ever got from the Let's Go games. No lure, no chain. I was actually surfing on my way to hunt for a different Pokemon, and there was a black dragon.
I actually hatched this Squirtle that is now a Blastoise for Stefan back when I was in college before class. Sometimes people would watch me shiny hunting, but I don't think they ever really got it.
You'll notice some Pokemon in this living dex are found in Pokemon Go. Look, I don't stream, and I have a full-time job. I really like going outside for walks. I do intend on swapping out shinies caught in Pokemon Go eventually, as well as some of the event Pokemon that I'm using as placeholders until their shiny becomes available to me. I have quite a few shiny Abra from a few games, but the one I like most is this one. That Lorekeeper Toby traded me a few years back to help with his Ultimate Home Dex challenge.
My shiny Ninetales, named after Rao from Okami. Please play Okami. I love that game so much. Ever since I got into Pokemon, Ninetales always has been one of my favorite fire-type Pokemon and one of the best shinies in my opinion. Also, she's a fox. Foxes are friends.
When I played through Ultra Sun for the first time, I decided to challenge myself to build a team of shiny Pokemon, and this shiny Alolan Muck was one of the first to join my team.
That's my f***ing location!
The last Pokemon I actually needed was this shiny Alpha Snorlax. This is probably the first major shiny hunt of the video so far, and it's currently my only Alpha shiny Pokemon.
We refuse to do that permutation method.
Snorlax is a really fun encounter, especially when you first play Legends Arceus. There's a Snorlax here that hangs out by the river to give new trainers in Hisui an early game reality check.
Oh. Another Zubat. Okay. I mean, I really like Zubat. It was actually my first ever shiny in gold version. The interesting thing about Zubat is, even though it's green, I kind of thought it was like a pink shiny because of the wings. Thanks to the anime with the Butterfree and the Island of the Pink Pokemon, I was absolutely convinced that all shiny Pokemon were pink. It is faster. That was not.
Yeah, but it was a shiny. The same
It was when I went back this way.
Is that true?
No, I don't think it's the Drift
Hello
Loon.
there.
Oh, it is the Drift Loon! Hey, got it.
There you go, you have a balloon.
I have a balloon.
I got a balloon.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! There it is! Oh! Oh! There it is!
Save first.
You don't believe it.
Told you, they all sparkle eventually.
Ivana actually found this Articuno for me in a Dynamax adventure, but I recently got one with a special background in Pokemon Go too.
Speaking of which, this finally happened. I just cannot believe it. I have my own Chocobo. Galarian Zapdos is my favorite of these bird legendaries, and I finally found it. I gasped so loud and my hands were shaking trying to...
Mew is basically impossible to hunt legitimately for the average player, and it's locked behind a single Japan-only event way back in Generation 3. Pokemon Go did release a special ticket a few years back to obtain one, and just because it came from Pokemon Go does not mean it was easy. This actually took me months to complete all of the tasks to get this thing. It would have been quicker just to soft reset for it. I used this Mew in the Mewtwo Terror Raid event in Scarlet and Violet, which got it a pretty unique ribbon. This Totodile was my starter Pokemon for my last Heart Gold playthrough, and was just too cute to evolve. I have every evolution shiny of course, but my absolute favourite is Celestia the Espeon. Like, keep her with me in every game we adventure in.
This is Orion. He's my shiny Vivi and canonically my starter, first partner Pokemon.
Celebi. This might be the longest hunt I've ever experienced. I don't have the exact figures, but I'm confident it went above 30,000 encounters. My playtime when looking at the Crystal 3DS data was ridiculous. I watched the entirety of Breaking Bad whilst hunting this mythical Pokemon, and that doesn't even really scratch the surface. I have a soft spot for mythical Pokemon. I always enjoyed the Pokemon movies and was fascinated by those Pokemon that existed in the world of the games, just out of reach to encounter as a kid. Before I started trying to get a complete shiny living dex, I actually started just trying to obtain all the mythical Pokemon. That aren't shiny locked, of course.
I hunted for Rayquaza back in Gen 7. Not only it is notable because it is a 6 shiny, but also took 6,821 soft resets. And yes, I did have the shiny charm. I was cursing at Kukui for getting my shiny charm out of a cereal box.
This Munchlax is the same one that we both have. We got it for beating every stage of Ogre Ousting. Doing this on the original Switch was not easy. Shiny Darkrai was one of my first mythical hunts. I actually hunted Shaman in Platinum first, but I'd clearly run out of luck after that one. What is it with mythical Pokemon taking me months? When Go had a special weekend where Darkrai was available, I jumped at the chance. And this was before remote raiding, so I was sprinting through busy London streets from raid to raid just to get this.
Arceus, the god, the llama. We both hunted this one. You would think it took longer than Rayquaza since Shiny Charm doesn't quite work in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, but no, Arceus, despite being the regular and modern odds, it took 6,541 soft resets. Nezu, my shiny Hisuian Alpha Zoroark. Hour by hour, day by day, I checked every single outbreak I had over the year. Yeah, he took ages, but gosh, he is precious.
Unova has some of my favourite shiny Pokemon, from Scolipede to Garbodor. This Zekrom was probably my most notable Unovan shiny though, as it was my first ever legendary hunt that I went for back in Alpha Sapphire. I also have this shiny Genesect from Go, as well as Meloetta, though the one you see here is actually the Meloetta you get for completing the Paldean, Blueberry and Kitakami regional dexes. These Froakie are from Go, but I actually have a special connection to this Pokemon. I found a shiny Frogadier in the X Friend Safari back in 2013 and it altered my brain chemistry forever. That was when I decided that shiny hunting was going to be one of my favourite hobbies for the rest of my life. I found a few shiny Pokemon in random encounters just playing casually in the past, but this one was different. Alola has a few of my favourites, like Ribombee and Salazzle, but this Silvally is probably the coolest shiny I have from that generation. I also have all of the Tapus already, some found in Dynamax Ventures, a couple of the others in Go, including this incredibly rare Shundo Tapu Lele that I do not want to transfer to home, so I'll likely have to hunt another one soon in the main series.
You know the feeling when you get so much into the rhythm of soft resetting that you just kind of go, oh, I'm not doing this too fast, I will notice once it shines. Slow down. You will not notice it when it shines and you will end up over resetting. This is what happened to my Pheromosa. I think. Thing is, I'm not sure if it was a shiny. It was still in the shade when I pressed the button on my 3DS. But there was something about it that makes me think it was the one and I stupidly lost it like that. But it didn't take too long for me to reclaim it. Shiny Poiple and Shiny Naganado both originate from Gen 7, where I think they forgot to shiny lock them, because in Gen 8 it is locked for some reason. Anyway. Phalanx! What a great Pokémon! The first time I saw it in Galar moving on Route 8, I was convinced it was not a Pokémon, just some kinda toy? I don't know. What's so special about it? Let's just say this Phalanx is a testimony of my unending resilience as a shiny hunter. It took 3090 eggs to hatch. Snomy! Oh my gosh, he's so cute, what a baby! Well, little Snom here is Snomy, my birthday Snom, which means he has the Destiny mark. I absolutely adore Snom. It is precious and deserves to be sufficiently protected. It is a beam, the light of my day, it is perfect peak existence. Bermuda, the shiny Dragapult named after the Bermuda Triangle and her droopy babies, Alpha and Charlie. I hatched her back in Gen 8 at the old cemetery in the Crown Tundra. The crowned wolves are currently only huntable in Pokemon Go, but the one I have is exceptionally special. We went to Go Fest in Paris, catching shinies in this beautiful park, and after a lucky trade, I got this Shando Zamazenta with the location background.
And for now, that's it. This is just the start of our adventure. There are plenty of holes in this living dex, lots of big and small shinies to obtain, and the future of Pokemon is looking bright.
If you would like to join us on our adventure, please do! Just like and subscribe, it's completely free. You would be surprised how many don't know that. And if you feel like it, comment and tell us what kind of shiny hunts you would like to see us tackle first.
Alright, cheers.